Camera number 382 is probably a first for me, a stereo camera, the Robin Hood. And I would just like to take the opportunity to thank the people at Real Camera in Liverpool for allowing me to play and use the camera. Interesting camera, certainly from the standpoint it can be used to produce stereo images or a single image. And the way we can do that is on the front here. We have three settings: S, chamber number 2 and chamber number 1. That will make sense when I turn the camera around and undo the metal clips that hold the back in and allow you to put the film in. And there we go, we have two chambers, and depending on what setting we've put in here will determine which fire. So we've got S. It's a guillotine shutter that is released with this button here with my finger is, but it does need to be charged as it were. We need to push this little setting here, and then hopefully, if we've done everything correctly, we'll see 2. If we move it to chamber number 2, which we can do by pressing it, pushing it, oops, charging the camera up. Which is it going to be, left or right? The left one. So that's chamber number 2, that's chamber number 1. Let's just confirm that by putting that into number 1. And then we hopefully should see the right hand one. There we go. So the camera can be used to take 2 images at one time, or we can set it to take 1 image at a time. Very basic viewfinder there, and also a waist level there. A very fetching sort of marbly effect here on the camera. There we go, look, I didn't need to guess actually, 1 and 2. There we go, should have read the manual. Okay, so the way we put our film in is if we put our take-up spool here. It can be a bit fiddly because there's a little slit there. I don't know whether you can see that where my finger is, and we have to obviously ensure that that goes in, and then that way we can put the spool in. And then if we get a roll of 127 film, or had a roll of 127 film, I actually used 35mm film, which I used with this backing paper. But we put the film in. I won't use the expression fairly easily, because you can guarantee as soon as I say that it won't go in. So there it is on the other side, and then we just have to ensure we put it in there, and then we wind on the film. This paper clearly has seen better days, and oops, it's come out, not surprisingly. Just need to put that back in. There we go. Let's rewind that back in now. There we go. If we put that back on, and then seal it up, and then all we have to do is ensure that the number is seen in the window. Now, because it takes 2 images at one time, or can do, or takes a very wide bit of film, let's just put it onto number 1. What I found I had to do, there we go, number 1, was I'd actually took stereo images, and so I put it on number 1, and then once I took both images I actually wound it on to number 3, because number 1, number 2, so by winding it on to number 3 then allowed me to take my next stereo image, and then wind it on again to 5, and then finally on to 7, and then that's the end of the film. So you basically have, what was that, four images or 4 sets of images, or if you take a single image, you get 8 images from a roll of 1:7 film. I hope that was understandable. And yeah, there we go, that's it really, very basic. The shutter speed seems to be around about a 90th of a second. I don't know what the aperture is, I guess it must be something like 8 or 11. The images, which are now dry, are here, and you can see a set of images here, 1, 2, and I'm looking at them now from here. It looks like one's very sharp and one's very blurred, and the same true here. One's very sharp, one is very blurred. Got a bit of a light leak, very fetching light leak going on here, no doubt due to the backing paper, its state. And then I've got a final image that I've got here. So I will scan those and put them up at the end of the video. I won't be doing a location to darkroom on this occasion, but I'll show those images, well, now really.